Hello, my fellow studio members. It's me, Christian Studios, and today I'm going to talk about, Fallout 4. About how it's actually a pretty good game, but it's a bad RPG. There's a lot to talk about and get into this game, because, I don't know. Bethesda's an interesting company, but I think this is where they start to go downhill with how they make games and stuff. Because Fallout 76 was a piece of garbage, but I don't know, this game is actually pretty good, but it just fails as an RPG in a lot of aspects. And I'd like to I couldn't find any sound or good sound for it, but a quick mention to music, the soundtrack in this game is very excellent. Very good soundtrack. Bethesda knows how to make good music. Alright then, let us get on to this video of its goods and its flaws. Now, first things first, with the positives, I think this game does an excellent job with the introduction to the world. I mean, look at it. I remember watching the Eve 3 review trailer, and Todd Howard just, you can go wherever you want, and he doesn't lie this time, but you can go wherever you want. It's just super cool to see this big, mountain ranges everywhere, the huge landscape. It's just kind of awe-inspiring. Very cool, indeed. I absolutely liked it, the introduction to the world. And yeah, just me just kind of goofing around to get through this gameplay. I'm sorry, I'm kind of lazy when it comes to this stuff. And next, okay, this I did just for fun for you, but I just went to my castle because I'm in charge of the Minutemen, and there's just this guy. This poor man was missing an arm and was dead in my castle. I had no idea what happened. Everyone else was fine, but just this one man was dead. And this is another great thing like about Bethesda games. For some reason, you just pick up dead bodies. You kind of goof around with him. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I just kind of put him in the ocean because I just wanted around my castle. Rest in peace, my good man. Rest in peace. And now we have the weapons workbench, or weapons workshop. This, in my opinion, is a very great feature in Fallout. I like it a ton, because, well, you can customize them pretty much however you want. You can name the gun whatever you want to name it. You can customize it to, maybe you want to do more damage. Maybe you want your gun to be suppressed. Maybe you want a bigger clip on it. Maybe you want less recoil. All that stuff. You can pretty much do it all, which is really great. Great customization for your weapons, for sure. I like it a lot. And of course there's consequences, for adding certain things here and there. Very smart and creative. And then of course we have base building. Now this is fun, for me at least. I mean, it's alright. You can make houses, defenses, kind of forts for people, like a settlement, if you want to be a good person and help people in the Commonwealth. It's very, I don't know, it's just a kind of a nice little feature here, and I think it's a lot of fun. Gun gameplay is pretty good in my opinion. It's a lot of fun for a Bethesda game and a first-person RPG. But the FAT system is what makes combat really stand out the most. It makes things a bit more interesting, because there's a lot of strategy when it comes to it, especially since it uses stamina. So maybe you can use it as a last resort, or kill some weaker people from the get-go, or maybe not use it at all and save your stamina so you can run away if the enemies are too hard. There's a lot of options, and I think that's what makes this gun's gameplay pretty unique. And also, guns, in my opinion, they're pretty good. I think they feel well, the controls are responsive, everything seems pretty alright. Gun gameplay, I would give a thumbs up.
Your thoughts?
We'll make something out of the Commonwealth yet.
Is everything all right between us?
Honestly, I don't think I could ask for a better partner. Or a better friend.
Your thoughts?
You're one hell of a partner.
Your thoughts?
Shame you're not a synth. We could keep this going until Judgment Day. Though I guess maybe we already missed it.
They didn't tell me much. Vault Tech. Just to make sure everyone filled out their forms. I was supposed to win a pack of steak knives.
Sorry, that was kinda random. I just wanted to show you guys how cool and funny the dialogue is. Quick mention of the characters. I think they're great. I love the characters I fought for. Very well written people and dialogue. There are some lame characters here and there, you know, kinda like in most games, but I think most of them are pretty interesting in my opinion. Okay. I have to talk about my favorite part of the game, which is probably the side missions. They are great. Alright, some of them even have different options and outcomes even, unlike the story. Anyways, and they can come in the most craziest ways. It's so cool. For example, my companion Curie, a robot, was like, "Hey, I wanna talk with you." So I go and talk with her, and she just randomly says, "I wanna be more intelligent, but I need a human brain to do it." And I'm just like, "Okay, I'll help." See, stuff like this make me really like Fall for it, because it's just kinda comes out of the blue. Now I'm going to admit, it can also be bad, but we're not there yet. So then, I take my companion to a doctor I know, and she agrees to help me, and now I'm waiting to see what happens to my companion. It's just well structured how the companion and side missions are, in my opinion. I guess the reason I like it so much is because no other game is like this for how side missions are built up, and I appreciate Bethesda for putting a lot of effort in these side quests. And now sadly, I have to get into the flaws. Remember what I said about gunplay being good? Just look at this. As you can see, melee combat sucks. There's nothing else really to say. It just stinks. Now, remember what I said about missions randomly starting? Look at this. Just check this out. I was doing it for someone else. How did a mission start when I was already doing a mission for someone else? I found out it was because I found where some radio signal came from, but I didn't even pick up the radio up or search the bodies. It didn't even follow the frequency. It just randomly happened. Minor issue for me there. Now, as for third person view and combat, it isn't good. I mean, it's fine for traveling and talking with people, but for fighting, no, stay away from it. It feels clunky, it's hard to aim right, because enemies move around too much. It can be hard to tell where you're going in little environments. All around, it just isn't good for gameplay, but okay for traveling if you just want to look at your character. I mean, this is just my experience with it, of course. If you thought this was a positive thing for combat when you shoot people, good for you. Now, as for the dialogue system, it's disappointing. So I'll tell you how it works and why it is a very bad dialogue system for this game, and especially RPG games with multiple choices. As you can see, triangle is what I like to call the question button. Basically, if you want to find out more information about something or get to know someone better, you just press the triangle button. Sorry if you hear me randomly drink in the background, because I get dry mouth real quick. The square button is probably the most interesting one, honestly, because I would say it's the neutral one. But it can come off as one of three options. 1. Sarcastic. 2. Straightforward, as in listen to this conversation already in a sort of way. And 3. A neutral response. Heck, sometimes it's just another way of saying no or yes, which is pretty dumb, if you ask me. And the sarcasm option comes off more evil and rude than sarcastic. It just doesn't feel right at all. As for the X button, it's the good way pretty much. It is used for the good option pretty much every time, and also used for the word yes most of the time. And circle is, of course, you guessed it, the evil option, and or the no option. As you can see, it's a system that just doesn't work for a Fallout game. The other main problem with it is that the outcome of the situation will always be the same, no matter what you say. Unless you're doing cool side missions, which can be hard to come across sometimes. This is real, I'm not even kidding. I didn't show footage because of spoiler reasons, so let me try and explain it the best way I can. I'm doing the main mission, and some people asked for my help, and I told them yes, on my good playthrough, and now on my evil one. So of course, when you say yes, you help the people. But guess what happens when you say no? The mission then proceeds to tell me to help them and continues. Yes, this is real, a part of the game. This is the high advanced dialogue we get. It just boggles my mind that they thought this was a good idea, because guess what? It's not. It's a shame too, because you would think, how can we go up from here? But instead they decided to take steps backwards instead of forward. I believe it's a missed opportunity. Okay, I thought I would mention this real quick because in my opinion it makes the game way more better. Don't go here at the beginning where I'm showing you on the map, because it's the area where the beginning story mission is. And let's just say, if you want to have a more difficult and fun experience, where everything is handed to you, and where you won't feel like a god right from the get-go, you definitely should do yourself a favor and stay away from there. I can't describe how much more fun the game was by not knowing where to go and having to search for ammo and try to survive in the harsh Commonwealth. Trust me, it's worth it. Okay, now we are in a little segment I call, I guess, whatever, just Christian rants or whatever you guys want to call it. But it's basically, I'm just going off script and just kind of having honorable mentions where I'm just talking about other things about the game that I couldn't really cover in the video itself in a well-structured manner way, so I'm just kind of mentioning stuff real quick to you guys and other things that I've thought were wrong with the game. Alright, the story, it's bad. Let's just say that there's only one ending. Yeah, there's like one ending to the story, and it's just, of course the choices don't impact really what you do in the story, because the outcome is always the same in the end, and that sucks. I mean, it really sucks. I'm going to admit. Well, actually, never mind. Even that doesn't really matter. I was gonna say something about if you join a faction, like it's kind of different for the last mission, but the same thing just ends up happening anyways. It just happens to be you being in a different faction. Okay, forget about that. But yeah, the story, just compared to interesting and intriguing side missions, I have to give it a big downgrade. It's just disappointing for sure. Not the best aspect of the game. Oh, and I don't know why Bethesda does this, but for some reason in all their new games they have to make you feel like an unstoppable force, like a god. Like in Skyrim, you're the Dragonborn, you have all these powerful shouts when you play the story, you're unstoppable and all this stuff, you're a legend. And here you're pretty much like the ultimate savior of the Commonwealth, like, oh my gosh, this guy's our hero, I love him so much. Or you're the ultimate killer of the Commonwealth, like, oh my gosh, he's invincible because he kills everyone, takes all their loot. It's not very interesting, to say the least. You can't be who you want. Okay, I have to say, the voice actor for the guy and the lady, for the characters to be are really good. They are actually, I think, fantastic, phenomenal voice actors. But their problem is, it's not for me. Especially when you make your own character, then you hear their voices come out of them. It's just, it does not feel right whatsoever. It feels completely wrong and out of place. I can't describe how many times and when I just hear the voice actor's voice, I'm like, I just don't imagine my character sounding like that, because I like to imagine my voice coming out the characters, or even a voice that I made up in my mind, like for how they look, and it just kind of takes me out of the immersion. But it sucks though, because the voice actors are great, but just for characters that I made, just for me to enjoy, I like it better when they're a silent protagonist, unless it's a game, where I understand voice protagonists in RPG games. I mean, there's plenty of those, but where you make your own custom character, I wish maybe there was an option where you could, okay, no voice actor for them, or maybe, yeah, let's have a voice actor for them. In my opinion, that would have been a lot more better, but it's not very good. Oh yeah, I just mentioned, Todd Howard lied about you can be whoever you want. Also, because no matter what in the game, you are a father, alright, or a wife. You're gonna, and you have a child, and in the story, you have to go rescue your son. That's pretty much the story. You have to go find and rescue your son. And yeah, so you cannot be who you want, because no matter, you're always a dad, you always have a son, and you're always a mom. And that is lame. On your backstory is already explained for your character as well. Because when you're a guy, you used to be in the military. It's like, oh, okay. And then when you're the lady, or the mom, you're like some teacher. Which is just, yeah. That's your backstory. Sorry, it's kind of frustrating almost to think they would do that. It's like, oh yeah, let's perfectly describe this whole backstory for them. It's just extremely annoying for me. Okay, I have to mention also a couple more things real quick. I think the world is good. The Commonwealth is a great world. I think they did well making it for sure. But it encourages fast travel so much that it's annoying, because I don't want to travel the world of the Commonwealth. Like, once after I visit a place and you can fast travel there, I do it pretty much most of the time. Because, well, it gets boring. Just traveling the world. You're either just walking all the time, or you're just fighting people all the time, and that's it. It's just lame. They don't do anything engaging or intriguing to keep you traveling in the world, because you're just stuck. You're just either fighting or walking around all the time, and that's it. And if you're gonna make a big and interesting world, I think you should be able to, have some kind of form of progression, or make something intriguing or interesting, or do something fun to make you travel in the world. And not just, okay, let's just keep walking till we get to point A to point B, and to, just fight people all the time. Because the combat, like I said, it's kind of good, but it's kind of bad too. So yeah, and then there's super strong, terrifying enemies and our weaklings. Okay, remember the terrifying Deathclaw, the most feared monster in all of Fallout? Oh my god, it's so hard. And okay, so in here they are weak. They don't even matter. They're just a dumb, lame enemy in this game. Terrible. Okay, and then there's the Behemoth, that giant enemy. I've only come across one. And, well, I beat him on my first try too. It was kind of easy. which really sucks. Like, there's just so much missed opportunity for difficulty and challenges, because I like my games to be hard personally, so I can overcome these great odds and stuff, but it's just non-existent in this game, pretty much, which absolutely sucks. Could have been a lot more fun and engaging to get into it. And well, I guess that's about it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I just wanted to say have a good day, have a good night, and may you have peace. Goodbye.